Hi Gemini, this is your forecast for the month of October 2016. This is a general reading for Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, or Gemini Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, provided on the link at the upper corner. If you have visited the site before, please clear your browser's cache for the schedule button to function properly. So Gemini, normally I would say my thank you at the end of a reading, but this month I want to lead with a thank you because I've had such really great support from you and I've had a rise in subscriptions. So please know that this is mutual love that we are sharing, and I will make every effort to give you my personal best. Okay, Gemini, so for the first week of October, you have the Lovers card. And this card has a very strong tie to Gemini. So this is very representative of you. But the Lovers card ties into partnerships. So there could be a focus on a love relationship, a business partnership, or someone that you're very close to. So this could be a week where there are some romantic meetings or sexuality or attractions, or maybe you're having to make some sexual adjustments. Maybe there's a new relationship of some sort. Some of you will be thinking about love and marriage, or you're involved in a love affair where there's a trial or choice involved. Maybe you're in a love triangle and you're having to choose between two partners. There could be issues of commitment or engagement or marriage. For others of you, this is a very important choice that you're having to make. A major choice, a very important decision. And perhaps you are facing some kind of ordeal, or there's a fork in the road. Some of you may be choosing between doing what's safe or taking a risk, or choosing between your head or your heart, or just choosing between two very different paths to take. Some of you may be struggling with some temptation, or you're dealing with health and healing issues, or maybe even taking some short trips. But this is a card about dualities. Fortunately, this is a very good week where if you need to repair your relationships, improve them in some way, or have some issue clarified, this is a good week to do that, because situations are going to create an opportunity for you to gain a greater understanding of both yourself and the people that you're involved with. You'll have a greater awareness of others, which is going to give you some sort of peace of mind. This could be a week where you actually meet one or more people who might be in some way critical to your future, or perhaps you reconnect with someone from your past. This is a week where you're going to feel a very strong sense of responsibility. You're going to be very dedicated, but you're going to have a very strong personal appeal, and this magnetism is going to attract people to you. And while you will enjoy their company and they will enjoy your company, and you generally will get along better with others, it's also going to be a bit of a distraction that is going to create a challenge for you to complete your goals. So you may receive a lot of phone calls that interrupt your work, or you have people that say, well, let's do lunch, or let's go out, or you have these chance encounters that take you away from your focus. But again, you will enjoy your interactions with others. In fact, if you're dealing with any kind of difficulties between other people, you're not on the same page, there's a difference of opinion, you'll be able to use your humor, your wit to sort of smooth things over. So this is a week where you're feeling more open, more light, playful, you're willing to take some risks, you feel spontaneous, and you are more creative. And whether that's artistically, intellectually, academically, and in fact, you may achieve some type of notice specifically because of that. People are paying attention to you. Maybe you get a promotion, or maybe you get a bonus, or it could be somebody gives you an apology this week. Now, for others of you, regardless of how well your relationships are going, it's likely that even your good relationships, the best of them, will encounter some kind of difficulty, challenge, strain, or tension. And you may feel instinctively the desire to suppress your emotions rather than share them. But by keeping this in, you're actually going to create more difficulties in the relationship. So this would be a week to share what you honestly feel with another person. Also, you need to remember that if you're in your interactions, not to try to live up to other people's standards, to follow someone else's expectations, to become someone else's ideal, to try to fit in someone else's mold. And by being your true self, you will find that your relationships with others will improve. So this is a week for you to be mindful about giving in too much, or being subservient to other people, or acquiescing to their desires when it's something you really don't want to do, or being too jealous, or because you do have a lot of charm at your disposal, relying too heavily on that charm to convince other people to go along with your plan. So this could be a week where there are some kind of revelations that you receive, and they could come out of the blue from sources that you didn't expect. Or again, you'll be gaining a greater self-awareness. Some of you will realize that you need to think about your partnerships, take some time for contemplation, and listen to your inner voice. The next week you have the Six of Swords, and so perhaps you are in recovery mode from something. If you had to share feelings, maybe you released some tension and you're moving away from some stress or problems that you are dealing with. Some of you are having you're reconciling or meeting up with someone. In fact, someone could suddenly appear unexpectedly, someone that you are very pleased and happy to see this week. For others of you, you're creating some beneficial changes in your relationships. Now, that could be an improvement. Maybe you've changed your attitude about it. But some of you have decided that the best thing to do is to sever some ties. Others of you are simply traveling. Now, maybe you're traveling abroad. Maybe you're having to travel over water, or maybe you're doing some boating, or you're on holiday, or you're relocating. Some of you are taking unexpected trips, and others of you are revisiting some places that probably have some significance to you in some way, places that you have visited before. But this is a week strongly focused on leaving negative situations. And so some things probably have come around again that you're dealing with, that you have dealt with in the past, whether that's in your personal life or your professional life. So you may feel as if on some level you have been forced to go back to the drawing board. Now, if you're trying to get somewhere, reach a new destination, or take something to the next level, get a better understanding of yourself or other people, whether you're traveling and broadening your horizons in some way, whether physically or metaphorically, this is going to require some patience on your part. You're going to have to put in some extra effort, and you're going to have to find the courage to do so. But whatever is happening this week is going to open you up to a new way of thinking, changing your perspective. Now, because this is a card of moving on, you will find that it's easy for you to move on from situations that are a waste of time, that take up your time, that limit your progress, and that get in the way of your endeavors and connections that mean the most to you. So you'll be putting those aside to honor your more worthwhile commitments this week. Now, definitely for some of you, your character is going to be tested. Again, you're going back to the drawing board and you're dealing with a situation that is not unfamiliar to you. You have probably had a situation or a connection that has given you some kind of disappointment in the past, and now it's going to be a repeat of that same experience again. So some things that you thought were put to rest or resolved may pop up, by surprise, and you're not happy about their reappearance. Some of you, if last week you were trying to live up to someone else's expectations or be what someone else wanted you to be, you may find that you are, susceptible to the wrong influence, and because of it, you're having to start over again. So be mindful this week of when you're putting too much effort into something and you're just literally wasting your time or your energy, or you're putting your faith in people or situations that are not right for you. So for many of you, again, you'll be taking off. Maybe you're starting a journey, whether that's, metaphorical or physical. Maybe you're seeking some freedom. Some of you may just be running away. Now, the third week, you have the High Priestess. This is a major week for you and a major card. So some of you will have dealings with women. Maybe your daughter becomes important this week, a sister, a friend, a single woman. Perhaps you're coming in contact with some person who advises others, whether that's a counselor, a psychologist, a psychic, somebody who's very intuitive, and somebody who is perhaps a confidant to you, and somebody who may be keeping a secret. Maybe you're doing some research, or maybe you're involved with somebody who has some knowledge, some insider knowledge, somebody who maybe there's a situation that you're involved in, maybe there's some complications or some things that need to be worked out, and this particular person sees the big picture and they know the inner workings, the behind the scenes going on. So there could very well this week be something going on behind the scene, or there's a secretive element to events, some kind of mystery. Now, this could also be someone who is making a decision not to get involved in something, and that could very well be you. There are some hidden issues this week, some hidden influences. Now, that may relate to moral guidance or some subconscious thoughts or some past conditioning or something spiritual, but because this is a water card, your emotions are very important this week, and they are playing out strongly in the environment. So whatever you are putting out emotionally, that will be reflected back to you in kind by the people that are around you. And your relationships are going to undergo some kind of change, some kind of re-evaluation, and particularly with women. So this could be personal or professional. This card is also saying that this week your intuition is heightened. You are receiving guidance. So you should trust that. And because, again, the emotions are at play, you will need to monitor your emotions and keep those in check and stick strictly to the facts. Now, some of you, again, this is connected to partnerships. Maybe you are getting advice or you're offering advice. Some of you are trying to protect someone that you care very much for, and that desire to protect them is actually creating some challenges in the relationship. Some of you are going to have some wonderful opportunity, or what appears to be an opportunity, cross your path. Now, it may very well be, but just know that this opportunity is not arriving free of charge. There are some strings attached to it, so you will have to consider it carefully. So again, you do this by trusting in that inner voice. Also, whatever you're involved in, I don't know what the situation may be. Maybe it's whatever it is, you could be trying to shift the advantage in some way, change the rules to the game in order for you to come out on top. And maybe your goal is to get rid of a challenge or overcome some obstacle, or maybe even to confuse someone that you consider to be an opponent. Whatever it is, you may be playing a little bit with your ethics. Also, this is a week where inviting some intrigue into your life could bring on more of a challenge than you're really equipped to deal with. So this is a week where you are going to reevaluate how you feel about something, some belief that you've had, perhaps a promise, on your part or the part of someone else, or some goal that you're trying to achieve. And the way to gain clarity to figure that out is to follow your intuition, because this is going to allow you to make a good decision, to see clearly, and to move onward. Now, the last week you have the Ace of Wands. And so this is some kind of new beginning of some sort. Now, it could be, last week you were tempted towards someone or something. Maybe you were seduced by something, or you had fantasies about someone, or maybe there were some unexpected encounters. Some of you may have been turned away by someone. But this is a new beginning. This is a project that you're working on, or some kind of creative endeavor, or again, some passionate connection you have with another person. But your ambitions are driving whatever this is, and you feel enthusiastic, you feel confident, and you're ready to, go to that next level. Some of you, given the course of events that have played out over the month, again, there have been some changes in your understanding and your self-awareness. And because of that, you're making a fresh start in some area of your life. And maybe you are opening yourself up in ways socially that will increase your emotional availability. Now, others of you may have come to some decisions that make you close off in some way. Some of you could have gotten a boost this week, and because of it, whatever it is, financially, professionally, maybe you were devoting a lot of time to your career, it paid off, and now you can get back to your relationship, and so there's a renewed desire for companionship. Some of you, because of whatever gains you've made, now you can really focus on improving and making the relationship better. But for others of you, if your desires were thwarted towards something, you may find that this week your relationship, there may be some cracks in it, and it may be more vulnerable to some outside pressures, and especially because of other people's problems. Some of you may surprise other people, and you may surprise yourself by starting a relationship that on some level intuitively you already know is destined to fail. Or you might decide to end a relationship that you're in, and you may do it in such a way that both you and the other person are shocked. Maybe you got angry, something happened, and just out of the blue you decided, this is it. I can't deal with this anymore. I want to shut this down. So that could be happening. So you probably will be taking a closer look at some area of your life in order to make a new start this week. Now, the underlying energy is the Three of Pentacles. And this card is very concerned with making improvements, whether that is to self or to your skills or to your possessions or property. So this will be a month where you are trying to make some gains. You're trying to do the things that will bring about some type of increased status or help you grow professionally, hone your skills, or create an opportunity for you to earn more, or rediscover, maybe learn something, or try to make the most out of your talents. So some of you this month are focused on earning some type of degree or certification, or working on your craftsmanship in some way. Maybe you are improving your property or your home, but this is a card about getting the rewards of something, a job well done. Maybe you're doing some work for others. It's also a card about teamwork and planning and assistance from others. So maybe you are having an interview this month, or maybe you're having a conference and you're going over how to make some improvements, or you're learning, or there are issues connected to your skills or your abilities. But there is definitely, a focus on transformation. Now, for some of you, there's an ending of some sort, or you're having to face a truth. But this month, events will generally be characterized by how well you are able to remain rational in the face of whatever it is that's happening to you or around you. And you will be tested about what it is that you believe, your value system, your understanding. And if it stands the test, you may receive some reward for it. And you'll be likely to get whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, although it will arrive in such a way that changes you and opens you up to a new perspective, changes the way you think about something. So you may be making decisions about new partnerships. You may be moving on from partnerships. You may be getting some advice. The third week, this High Priestess seems to be a very important and pivotal figure. So, this person may be helping you create some beneficial changes, or whatever advice is given, or maybe this person is not getting involved and you're moving away from something. But there are definite changes going on this month. All right, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I would greatly appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your kind comments. For those of you who have already offered your support, again, I am eternally grateful and committed to you. Have a wonderful October, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.